Today we're going to be taking a look at the Bandai Tamashii Nation's SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Super, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, or Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta figure. So what is going on, everybody? How is everyone doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today we are finally going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, or Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. And I've been waiting for this to arrive for a long time. It did get delayed by a week, so that kind of sucks. But anyway, let's get into the review and start off with the packaging for the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. So Vegeta comes in the older style packaging, what we're more used to seeing, compared to the newer style, like what Beerus and the Awakening Warrior Goku come in, and I think the new Saiyan Armor Trunks will be coming in the newer style packaging as well. But we do get gray and blue for the main colors of the box, looking pretty cool. It says SH Figuarts, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, we do get the window there. It says Dragon Ball Super on the bottom, Toei Animation Warning, blah 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 blah, Tamashii Nation's Bandai. The bottom of it is the barcode of blah 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 stuff that nobody cares about. The top of it pretty much says the same thing as the front, and it also says Big Bang Attack. And then the side of it says the same thing. We do get a cool image of Vegeta there. And then the other side of it, we get that really awesome image of the figure that I think looks pretty badass. And then the back of the packaging shows a bunch of different poses you can get the figure into along with some of his accessories. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get Vegeta open and take a closer look at the Prince of All Saiyans, even though it's only 4. Alrighty, so taking a closer detailed look at the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and Tamashii Nations really did a very nice job with this piece for what it is. It does look a lot better in hand. I do have 2 complaints. One's more minor, while the other one's more of like an actual real complaint. But this is the minor one. It doesn't bother me too much, but it is noticeable that their hair colors are different. I know a lot of people are very upset about that. I'm not extremely upset about it, but it is a little disappointing. As you can see, Vegeta's hair is more glossy and darker, while Goku's is a little more brighter. I do prefer the color of Vegeta's. I think that looks a little more accurate to Super and from the last 2 Dragon Ball Z movies, but it does look better with that type of color blue compared to what Goku's is. But that's one minor complaint. Like I said, it doesn't bother me that much. And then the other one is Vegeta desperately needs an updated hair mold. They really need to resculpt some new hair for Vegeta, because his hair looks totally different in Super, and even in the Buu Saga in Dragon Ball Z. His hair doesn't look like that anymore. So hopefully Tamashii Nations will stop being lazy and give us a new hair sculpt for Vegeta. Now that is a complaint that really bothers me, that they really went all out lazy and pretty much just gave us the same hair sculpt as previous Vegeta figures. The only difference I see is right on the front, and it's actually on the face sculpts. As you see on the Super Saiyan one, it goes out a little bit, while this one goes a little more in. So those are really the only differences about the hair sculpt. Everything else is pretty much the exact same. So that's a complaint I do have, that we do need an updated hair sculpt for Vegeta. But other than that, like I said, Tamashii Nations really did a fantastic job with this piece. I'm really digging the color blue that they chose for Vegeta's hair compared to Goku's. This does look better in my own personal opinion. The sculpt of the hair does look pretty good, even though it's just reused. And we do get some paint shading in the hair. It's more subtle on the front. You can see it though. It's like a lighter blue. You see it more on the back. You see it gets lighter, kind of going to the top of the hair, but the more in towards the head, it gets a little bit darker. So nice work on that. The face sculpt looks good, looks like Vegeta to me. The paint's nice and clean on it as well, and I like how the skin tone on the neck matches the skin tone on the face, so that's good. Then we do get his undershirt from his Saiyan armor, and I like the color a lot better than the blue. I think the gray looks a lot better. We do get the part around the neck right there. The sculpt and paint looks pretty good all around, as you can see there. And then we do have the new updated Saiyan armor on the torso. It is slightly different compared to the Super Saiyan Vegeta, but it is still similar. Like the mustard yellow colors are a little different as well, as you can see there. We do get sculpted lines right there around the midsection. We get Whis' symbol there. We do get that mustard yellow type color on the shoulders as well, and then also on the back, and then some sculpted lines as well. So very nice work on that. And I really like how we get paint shading all throughout the gray on Vegeta's costume here. I think that looks very nice, the paint shading. Nice sculpt work on the muscle definition. And they did resculpt some new arms, as you can see there, the difference of them. And then we did get new gloves as well. And what I liked is, as you see the sculpted wrinkles, we get limited articulation with Vegeta's wrist. But with this one, we don't have it, so we get some more motion in the wrist right there. So that's something I like a lot that they updated with Vegeta. We did get a new mold for his legs and boots. As you can see, the Super Saiyan Vegeta, his legs are a lot more wider, while on the Super Saiyan Blue, his legs are a lot more skinnier, and you could tell the big difference between the boots as well. We do get some new sculpt work on the pants, like these lines going all around, and then around the back right there. And then we do get some lines going down the side of his leg, and then a couple, well, just one on each front of the thigh right there. So that's pretty cool looking. We do get some nice paint shading around the knees as well. Same with up here around the waist and on the arms, as I said before. We do get to his boots. That look pretty cool. Some nice sculpted like wrinkles on the bottom. I think that looks pretty awesome. We do get a sculpted line going around the top. And then there are sculpted lines going down the back and then around the heel right there. So that looks pretty cool. We do get the mustard yellow type color on the tips of the toes there. And then they did sculpt the lines this time, so that's cool. And then we do get some gray soles. I know a lot of people complain about this, saying there's too much of the sole there. But that is actually anime accurate. That's how it looks in Super, and that's how it looked in the last two Dragon Ball Z movies. I mean, overall, they did a very nice job with this Vegeta for what it is. We do need some stuff updated, like that waist articulation desperately needs to be updated. Same with Vegeta's hair sculpt, but other than that, I think they did a very nice job, and it does look a lot better in hand. But anyway, let's continue on. Alrighty, so now for some quick head swaps. Here is the premium color Super Saiyan Vegeta head on the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta body, and then here is the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta head on the premium color Super Saiyan Vegeta body. And here is the original Super Saiyan Vegeta head on the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta body with the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta head on the original Super Saiyan Vegeta body. And I think the premium color Super Saiyan Vegeta head looks better on the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta because the skin tones match a little bit better compared to the original Super Saiyan Vegeta. But anyway, there's some quick head swaps. Because I don't have any other Vegeta figures, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, we get an okay amount of stuff included with Vegeta, some interchangeable hands and interchangeable faces. Now, in my personal opinion, I think the biggest downside to this figure is that we don't get the powered down black head sculpt like how Goku came with one. Extremely disappointing, and we don't even get the crossed arms. So to me, that's the biggest disappointment to the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegeta figure. But we do get 4 interchangeable faces. We get the basic Dragon Ball Z face sculpt here that every figure has. And the paint and sculpt looks good on it. We already took a look at it before practically. So nice work on that one. So we get that. And then we also get the yelling, screaming face sculpt. I'm glad they included this one with the figure. Paint and sculpt looks good. Looks like Vegeta to me. Yeah, I said Vegeta. And then we also get the smiling, smirking face sculpt where his eyes are looking off to the left. Nice paint and sculpt as well. And then the last one here, we get the angry teeth gritted face sculpt. And I'm so happy, instead of making his eyes off to the right like the Super Saiyan Vegeta, they made his eyes looking straight ahead, and it looks so much better. So nice paint and sculpt on that. We do get his vein right there on his forehead. So those are all the interchangeable faces. And then we also get 8 interchangeable hands. We do get a pair of fists. Some nice sculpt work on these, as you can see there. I don't see any paint shading, but it's really not needed. So we get a pair of fists, and then we get a pair of open palm blast hands, which we get with every Vegeta figure. Sculpt work. And then the new hands we get kind of like open hands. You could either use it as a blast or have him like wiping blood off his face or something like that, like how he does in the anime. I like these hands though. I'm glad they made some new Vegeta hands. So pretty cool that we get those. And then the last ones here are these final flash hands. Very happy they included these as well. But anyway, those are all the accessories that come with Vegeta. Let's keep moving on with the review. Now for the height of the Prince of all four Saiyans. He stands about 5 inches to the top of his head, and then he stands just about 6 inches and a quarter of an inch tall to the top of his hair. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Original Super Saiyan Vegeta figure and the SH Figuarts Premium Color Super Saiyan Vegeta figure. And he is a little bit taller than both of them. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Golden Frieza figure and the SH Figuarts Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Goku figure. And then here he is compared to a bunch of the other SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z figures. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, we get 1 point at the upper neck and 1 at the lower neck, so we can look up a decent amount, and he looks down pretty good too. We do get some pivot there, and it does swivel. The lower neck joint goes forward and back just a tiny bit and pivots a little, so not the greatest movement at the lower neck joint, but the upper neck joint I think is an improvement compared to the Super Saiyan Vegeta or Scouter Vegeta. Now this is something that disappoints me as well. They still haven't updated Vegeta's torso articulation. We still have this crappy waist joint that pops up and just looks disgusting. I mean, that's horrible. They seriously need to update that joint. This is another lazy thing that Tamashii Nations did with this figure, but it does go forward and back. Oh my god, that's so it does pivot and it does swivel as well with it down. It does swivel, goes forward and back, and pivots a little bit. I think don't even pop that joint out, just leave it how it is. For the arms here, we get that very nice joint in there that moves all around, so we can move the arm around. And then it goes up a lot more than 90 degrees, so that is good. It does go up and down. We do get the biceps swivel, the double jointed elbows that bend in a lot more than 90 degrees, so that is good. And then we get a swivel and a hinge at the wrist, and I like the updated wrist articulation. We get more movement there compared to previous Vegeta figures. And another thing I like a lot about this Vegeta, the joints are very tight, unlike previous Vegeta figures, so you don't have to worry about the joints getting really loose. Now for the legs here, we do get these shifting Tamashii Nation leg joints, so we get more movement. So it kicks forward a little more than 90 degrees, so that's good. Goes to the back a little bit, decent amount. And then kicks out to the side a little less than 90 degrees. And then we do get swivel up there as well. We get the double jointed knees that bend back all the way, so that is good. Wow, those joints are tight. Now for the ankles, the movement really isn't the greatest here. I mean, same thing with previous Vegeta figures. It does swivel, hinges up just a tiny bit. That is really bad. And hinges down that much. That's pretty bad too. And then the pivot isn't even that great either. So bad movement around the ankles. And then we do get the toe articulation. So certain points of articulation is pretty good, while others are hindered and you really don't get too much movement out of them. But overall, I do recommend this figure to any Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super fan if you love the SH Figuarts line, or if Vegeta is your favorite character. You need to have this in your collection. Yeah, it has a few problems, but overall it is a very nice piece and an excellent addition to the collection. A few issues I have and some personal complaints. One, I think Tamashii Nations went the lazy route making this Vegeta, but my main issue is that we did not get any crossed arms or the powered down black head sculpt. Meanwhile, Goku came with the powered down black head sculpt and he had more accessories, but meanwhile this Vegeta was more expensive. Another main complaint of mine is they really need to update that waist articulation, because that is so outdated. Hopefully they do in the future, along with updating Vegeta's hair sculpt. They really need to update that as well, so hopefully they do both of those in the future. And a minor complaint that I had, this Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and the Super Saiyan Blue Goku, I wish their hair was the same color blue. I mean, it doesn't bother me too much, but it would have been nice if their hair was the same color, since they are in the same Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan form. But beside those few flaws and complaints, Tamashii Nations really did a very nice job with this piece, and I am extremely happy owning this in my collection. The articulation was done pretty well for the most part. We do get hindered spots, but we do get updated spots of articulation like around the wrists and the upper neck joint. Plus, I love that they tightened the joints on this figure. The accessories are okay, but like I said before, I wish they included a couple more things, but they did do a very nice job with the detail, especially with the paint. It's nice and clean throughout the entire figure, and I'm really digging that color blue that they chose for Vegeta's hair. And if you would like to get the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegeta for your collection, he does retail for about 50 bucks. I had mine imported from Japan, but he sold out over there, so you can check with my buddy from agelessgeeks.com, or you could join the Ageless Geeks Facebook group, because you can pre-order him on there as well. But anyway, that is my review of the SH Figuarts Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegeta or Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Hope you enjoyed my review. If you want to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, and favorite the video too. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, just give it a thumbs up anyway, because action figures are awesome. But thanks for watching. I will see you later. Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegeta, and then Big Bang. What the hell? Bang. Am I searching something on the internet? What the heck? Well, it says SH Figuarts Super Saiyan. The top of it says SH Figuarts Super Saiyan. The bottom of it is the barcode and blah 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 stuff that nobody cares about. The top of it pretty much shows a bunch of different poses you can get the figure into, along with some of his accessories. Shit. Alrighty, so now for some quick head swaps. Here's the premium color Super Saiyan Vegeta head on the Super Saiyan Blue Vadi with the premium color Super Saiyan Vegeta on the Super Saiyan Blue Vadi. I said Vadi again, damn it. On the Super Saiyan Blue body, damn it. There's two flaws that I do have with the figure. I'll get to that in a right now, actually. And Tamashii Nations really did a very nice job with this piece. Let me fix my bloody camera.